Welcome back to Professor Paul's Nuggets. Today I will be sharing with you how and why I became an academic person, why I went into the academic profession. For those who are not familiar with that term, academics are those who are in tertiary education, generally universities, polytechnics, and the like. We number in millions around the world because they are probably close to 30,000 full-fledged universities globally. But that is not the discussion for today. Why did I, as a person, go into academics? My decision to go into university was quite easy. I like to acquire knowledge, even at this age. I like acquiring newer and newer knowledge. So to me, after my secondary school education, my ambition was to get into university. And I did. If I should give away my age and my origin in this video, I was among those who took the first joint matriculation exam in 1978 against entry in September, October that same year. I did pass the exam and was allocated to the University of Ibadan, which is the premier university in Nigeria. But I missed my admission, my matriculation, as it is called in Nigeria, because the first few rounds of GME, or Joint Matriculation Exam, were published mostly in the two leading national newspapers at the time. And I was way in the rural area, so I didn't go. So I missed that opportunity. And so by the time I decided to take the GME again, a few years later, because I stopped by to do some work with the office of the governor in my state of origin. And I'm going to talk about that experience in another video. So I decided, against all expectations, not to go to a university closer to home. I chose to go to the northeastern part of Nigeria, precisely the University of Maiduguri, because I wanted to save time. The University of Maiduguri was the only one which was offering a 4-year post-O-level agricultural program at the time. Little did I know that after traveling 1,000+ kilometers to just save a year, that Maiduguri was going to change its duration too, in line with the other universities. So by the time I completed my first year, which we called the Science Part 1 in those days, or 100 level, the university changed the agricultural program to 5 years if you came with ordinary level, which was the situation with me. But I took the change calmly and I continued. But choosing the program, I had actually gone in to read agriculture to help to develop my parents' farms. But then my parents were crop farmers, but contrary to what they were expecting me to do, I chose to read animal science. Another strange decision, because where I come from, livestock production is not that common. But I did check with a few academics in agriculture to guide me as to what was the most relevant or the most we were thinking from economic employment employment possibilities, I would say. So I asked around and they said, oh, if you have the opportunity, please read animal science. So I simply jumped into it. I'm not sure at the time whether I knew any reason more than just employment possibility options to jump into that, but I've generally loved it. So then the next question, which is the topic for today, is why did I then become an academic? Again, I don't think there was a conscious reason or kind of preparation to become an academic. But what I do know is that we all admired our lecturers. They looked to us like men and women who possessed a lot of knowledge and were able to impact it to us. So we just watched them and in awe. And I think at the time I was actually taking exams and the like, and I can share my views on assessments and the like as a student, as an academic in future videos. I didn't exactly know what was happening, but I think my lecturers were watching me carefully. We also had an external examiner, as is still the norm in Nigeria and most parts of Africa, which were under the British rule, to have external examiners come from other universities to check on our processes. So I had an external examiner from Ahmadu Bello University, perhaps the largest public university in Nigeria. It was at the time, but I'm not sure what the numbers are like currently with all the private universities and newer universities that have been created after my graduation in the 80s. So the lecturers watched us carefully, and I did remember some particular ones. I don't know whether it is good to name them, but I really respect them. And so from time to time, they would stop by me when we were having lectures, and they would ask, how is it going? I think I actually threw myself into the deeper end of the pool because we had been challenged by a few of the lecturers that nobody could get a first class. And I think it was stupidity. It wasn't a wise thing to do. I believe that I decided to challenge myself all the same. And I told some of them that I would be getting a first class, that right from my first year in agriculture, which was really a very big target to set. And so they kept, I'm not sure, I think they loved me for making that kind of declaration, but from time to time it was more like a challenge. Are you still on target? And I used to then, after a while, I used to be bolder and I would say yes, unless the target and methods, rules, and everything are changed, I still have my target to have a first class. And so lo and behold, I had my first class, I think the first in animal science from the University of Maiduguri. And it was as we approached our final year, that we began to realize that there was actually a policy in place which was meant to recruit the best graduates from the programs and retain them for training as academics. Nigeria, Ghana, maybe a few other African countries did that, and possibly some other Commonwealth countries outside Africa must have used that same method to develop its academic workforce. But that was how it ended. I was supposed to be retained by Maiduguri, but they indicated that I wasn't from the catchment area. And then, to my surprise, the external examiner stepped forward during the final examination, oral exam, and said, Paul, when you finish your national service, come and see me. We take people from all over the country. That is how we build our strength at Ahmadu Bello University. And I think I have to acknowledge him and name him. He was Professor Umunda. God bless his soul. He died a few years ago. So after my National Youth Service, I went to see him, thinking that he had forgotten. I also met another mentor who was from my place, Professor Odioju, who was at one time the economic advisor to President Olusegun Obasanjo, as well as to President Buhari, I think. And so they supported me getting into Ahmadu Bello University. And as they say, the rest is history. I've been in academics now for 38 years, as I said from my very first video. But the question many would ask me is academics a good career pathway? And if you ask me that question when I got in, I would say yes. If you ask me the same question now, I'm not sure what my answer would be, but this will be a topic for another day. And at one point, I'm going to set up a panel that will discuss this, and then be able to guide people who are aspiring to go into academics. So I will stop at this point for today, and hope to see you back on this channel, where we will continue to rub minds and share ideas. So bye for now.